Hello everyone, my name is Dia and I will be your Scratch teacher today, and I wanted to introduce my assistant, Pirate. So let's begin. Okay, so this is the project that we're gonna make today. It's a little interactive animation sort of thing. See my cursor here. Um, each of these things will do a different thing when you click them. So I'm gonna click on here. This is supposed to represent me. And when I click, it says, "Hi, I'm Dia, the space wizard." I'm the space wizard. And then I put something that I like to do, which is hang out on my computer. And when you click the computer, it says, "I think coding is super fun," which I really do. And then I just put one other element here, a rainbow, because I love color. I love bright colors. I hate white walls, and I love color. So I click on it, and it spins around. Each time you spin it, it spins a little more. And then one other thing, the background plays a sound when you click it. So again, it goes, "I'm Dia the Space Wizard. I think coding is super fun." And the rainbow and the background. So now you guys are gonna make one yourself, but of things that you like. I picked space because I always watch space documentaries and I'm kind of obsessed with space. So that's my little thing, and now I'm gonna show you how to make your own. Okay, so let's start from Google or whatever search engine you have. You're just gonna put in Scratch, SCR. It already comes up because I have it. SCRATCHMIT. Return. You should see here, Scratch, scratch.mit.edu. Click on that. And this is what it's going to look like when you first look at Scratch. So you can see up here it says join Scratch or sign in. Eventually you may want to create your own login for this. That way you can save your projects online. Your projects will go onto this whole online gallery of projects that other people have made, and that other people can play them and comment on them. And you can play with other people's games and you can add on to them if you want. And you can also download Scratch on your desktop offline. And that does not require a login and password. The login stuff is really easy. You do need an email address. So if you really like what we do today, you can ask your parents or your guardians, whoever, if you are interested in if you're interested in creating an account. It's very easy, quick and easy, and just need an email account. Otherwise, today, for right now, why don't we just play around? We're just going to do this to play around with. Later, you can save it and download it if you download it offline, which I might make a little separate tutorial to show you how to download offline Scratch, which you probably want in case the internet goes out. Then you can still work on Scratch. Or if you don't have access to the internet, you can still work on Scratch. But for now, let's just do this project without signing in or without downloading the program to your computer. So right up here you see it says create. So Scratch, create, explore ideas about. Please, please, please go and read these later and look at these later. There's a lot of great ideas in there and little tutorials you can do. So what we're going to do is do create. Here we go. So this is what your interface is going to look like. Um, you don't need this tutorial. You're doing one with me right now. So let's click on this X. X means close. It even says close there. Close that. A little bit about this interface. You'll notice there's things over here, code, costumes, and sounds. When you click into code, it gives you all these blocks. Scratch is block-based coding, as opposed to other languages that you use to create websites and things like that. Those are text-based, but we're going to do block-based coding. It's a great way to start out with coding. And it's very simple. It uses a drag and drop interface. So this is where you get the codes. This is your canvas. Okay, it's like a painter has a canvas. This is where you're creating your piece. And this is what's called the stage. So you think of it like a theater where the actors perform. This is where your animation or game is going to be performed. So this is like the viewer, but we call it the stage. And it also is where the backgrounds go. And we'll get to that in a minute. So first we're going to look at this guy, this cat. This is a scratch cat. And you see here it says Sprites. So in Scratchland, sprite means anything that moves around on the stage independently. So like a prop, if you're going to go with the theater metaphor, or a character, those are called sprites. So what we want to do, we don't want to use Scratch Cat for now. So I'm going to go down here, see this X. X means close, or it's in a trash can, so that means trash it. Let's trash that, get rid of that. And we're gonna choose a sprite that I liked. And this little project is about you and expressing yourself and exploring your interests. Later, you can use the same technique to make whatever kind of little animation that you want. But for now, let's just do this. Down here, you'll see if I take that away, put that back. So we're gonna go to here, choose a sprite. Now, here are all the sprites that are available. There's a lot. Up here there's different categories: animals, people, fantasy, dance, music, sports, food, fashion, and letters if you want to like spell out something. It's fantasy, people, right? So you're gonna go through here and just choose a sprite that represents you. Like my project had the space wizard that obviously represents me. But you know, maybe you play baseball, so you're gonna want to pick the baseball player. Or maybe you love swimming in the ocean. You could be the mermaid. So don't think too hard about it, but take a few minutes now, go through these, look through these a little bit, and don't worry about how they're animated right now. They're not going to be animated on your screen. We're not going to do that in this tutorial. This is a very basic tutorial. We're not going to do that. But eventually we can make them be animated like that. So for instance, say I wanted to pick the singer. So I just clicked on it, right? And it appeared here. What's this called? On my stage. So this is my stage, and there's my singer. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make her say something. Introduce yourself. This is about you. This is all about you. So if you notice over here, there's different colors. Motion, looks, sound, events. When you click on these, you'll see a all new blocks of code pop up. And you can go through and read these later. But these are all the fun things you can do to make really complex games, actually, eventually. But for now, we're just going to stick to events, looks, and motion. So I want you to go to events. This is the yellow one. When you go through here, you see that events, most of them start with this curve on the top. That's because this is what starts a block of code is an event. You have to have an event. It's all about action and reactions, right? So you have to have an action in order to cause a reaction, right? So what these events we have here, we have when green flag is clicked. That's a very popular one here. When space key is pressed, actually you can choose a drop down menu there, and you can choose any arrow, any key on your keyboard. So you're coding something to happen when the person presses the space bar or A or B or return or whatever. And now here's the one that we're interested in, when the sprite is clicked. So you're gonna drag that out and drop it. When the sprite is clicked, so now we need to tell it what to do. When the sprite is clicked, what's gonna happen? We want her, let's think through it. We want her to say, "Hi, I'm Dia, I love to sing," or something. So the next thing we're gonna look at, go over to this panel, go to the the second one, looks. That's purple. And the first thing we have here is say hello for 2 seconds. So there's a couple other options here. Later, you guys can play around with these other options and see what happens. But for now, I'm just doing a pretty step-by-step thing that you can follow along and make something, and then you can go ahead and customize it and play with all these things. But for now, let's drag out say hello. Now, what do you notice about these two blocks? They fit together like a puzzle, right? So, and you can see it just wants to click there. It shows you where it's like Tetris, right? So you're going to release and it clicks right in place. When the sprite is clicked, say hello for 2 seconds. Let's test it. Whenever you're writing code in these games, it's easy to get carried away, but I wouldn't get carried away. You want to test your code every time you write something. So technically what should happen is when I click the sprite, it should say hello, and then it does. So you can click into that bubble and highlight it, so it's highlighted blue, hit delete, and then you can type in your customized phrase. I'm suggesting introducing yourself. I love to annoy people by singing. For 2 seconds. Let's test it. Remember to test it. Yep, that's true. Okay, so the other thing you'll notice is 2 seconds. Maybe we want anything that's in a bubble, you can delete and customize. And that goes for anything in here. Anything in a white bubble, you can delete and customize. It means you can make it your own. You can choose your own. So let's try. Let's see. Let's change that. Let's do it for 4 seconds because that's kind of a long statement. Yes, I do. Okay, perfect. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, I want you to make sure you have that. Look how Singer is highlighted in blue, and this is your canvas where you're writing your code. Now what we're going to do is choose something we like to do, right? So we're going to do another Sprites. Okay, let's just keep working with Sprites. Choose a Sprite, right? Should highlight green, click it. All right, now you're going to choose another Sprite of something you love to do. What do you guys like to do? Do you like to bake bread? Do you like to take your bear out for walks? Do you like to eat cake? Whatever it is. I'm going to do Cancer because I'm into astrology, if you guys know what that means, and my sun sign is Crab. So I'm going to and I'm going to do the same process I did for Singer. Now you see here you have your 2 sprites, right? When it's highlighted in blue, you know you're working in the crab. You're working in the crab zone here, right? So you're in the crab zone. That's good. You don't want to be coding for singer. You want to, if you click on singer, you see that her codes come up. Well, you want to make sure you're clicked into crab, okay? Now, remember the process. We go back over here, events, third one down when this sprite is clicked. So, oh, it's not sound, looks, say hello for 2 seconds. Except my sign of the zodiac is Cancer. Okay. And I'm very technical, so actually Cancer, Leo, cusp. Alright, well, for sake of, okay. Alright. So I was born in July, so I'm a Cancer. Okay. So you test it. Another thing, notice over here when you're clicking on the crab, this will be highlighted. That's good. That's, you know which code is running. Once you have a bunch of stuff on here, it kind of, and then like you have to debug your code, then it's kind of confusing. You don't know which code is not working right, but you can kind of test it by clicking on it, and then it'll get highlighted. I don't know if you saw that. So now we have, hi, I'm Dee. I love to sing. I love to annoy people by singing. My sign of the zodiac is Cancer. Perfect. Now we're going to do another sprite that turns around. So we're going to go to choose a sprite. We're going to choose something that's going to flip around. Okay, so we're choosing something that is going to rotate on the stage. And make it be something that you like. Don't pick the things that I'm picking right now. I'm just showing you as a demo. But you're going to be picking things. You're going to be pausing this video and picking your own things. So let's say I like, butterflies, of course. Butterflies are beautiful. They are very important for the ecosystem. They're pollinators. They bring pollen to different flowers and vegetables and plants, and they help us to grow our food. So, and I'm very eco-conscious, and so I do really love butterflies. So, we're going to make sure you're highlighted, clicked into butterfly, not crab, not singer. Make sure you're highlighted on butterfly so that you can code for the butterfly. Now remember the same deal. Go to events. When the sprite is clicked, drag and drop. Go to looks, purple. Say hello for 2 seconds. Now remember, you're gonna be pausing this video and writing in your own things. Butterfly. Okay. When the sprite is clicked, say butterfly. Oh, sorry, I was wrong. No, actually, let's just keep it, and we can add that in. But we're gonna work with motion. Motion is anything that moves. Move, turn, X and Y coordinates. We'll deal with that in a different tutorial. For now, let's just choose a turn, drag and drop. See if it works. Yeah, it does. It says butterfly and then it turns. Okay, cool. So now you can experiment with changing the seconds here and changing the degrees here, okay? You're going to customize that yourself. So I want you to pause the video, make sure you do this step. So you should have 3 working sprites. If you want to get back to the crab, you go down here and click in your crab. There's your crab code. And there's your singer code. So see, they're all different pages. So now we're going to choose a background. So you want a backdrop. It's called a backdrop, like a stage has a backdrop. So right here, choose the backdrop all the way down. And you'll see that you have your own, this menu again that has the different types of backdrops. Fantasy, music, sports, outdoors, indoors, space, underwater, and patterns. So whatever you look through and see, like find one that really represents you. Maybe you're an actor, you want to choose this fancy theater. So for me, I'm going to choose forest. Great. She's singing in the forest with her little crab. So now backdrops appears here on the right. It says stage, right? You want to be clicked into backdrop so it's highlighted with blue so that you can code for the backdrop, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to work with sounds and backdrop. So now that we're clicked into backdrops, you'll see that this is an option down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Oh, no, sorry. When stage is clicked, the third one down, because remember this is our stage where we're performing our animation. When stage is clicked, I want it to play a sound. So I'm going to go to sound. There's the pink button. I'm going to drag out this first one, play sound pop until it's done. Drag and drop. You notice this little arrow, that's a drop down menu. That means there's more choices. And you'll see those all through Scratch. So you feel free to look through there. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna look for our own sound. Let's test this. One stage click, play sound pop. Yep, it pops. Up here is the sounds tab. Code backdrop sounds. Click into sounds. You can actually edit this sound a lot. I'm not gonna go through there. I'm not gonna go through that now. What we're gonna do is choose a sound. So we go down here to the left and choose a sound. Of course, a library comes up again with your different types of sounds that you can choose. This is just on all sounds. If you hover or if you press play, you can test out those sounds. And there's some that are just, the loops are just more like music. So I'm just going to choose this. We're in our sounds tab. We can edit it. We're not going to do that now. You can on your own if you want. Let's go back to code because we want to work with this code. Now, the sound that we chose should pop up. And it is in the menu now. That's in our library of sounds now. So I'm going to choose classical piano. When stage is clicked, play sound classical piano. So and then you have a little introduction. So that's basically it. Oh. Also, you can record your own sounds, giving you little tips along the way too that you can go back and you can play with. And you can, this interface is very easy to play with. You can figure it out, a lot of things out on your own. But that's our animation for today. You can full screen it and then you see the whole thing. Alright, so that's it for today. I will come back at you with some more Scratch tutorials. Let me know if you like it. Give it a like. You can write any questions in the comments that you have, and I can try to answer them. So that's it. I hope you have fun playing with Scratch, and yeah, stay safe out there.